We are moving on to our second essay in English 101. The second essay assignment is going to be an illustrative essay. Our first unit sort of focused on narrative writing in the service of argument. Our second assignment is going to focus on illustrative writing. Illustrative writing, as I'm sure you have gleaned from the past few weeks, is focused on explaining something or illustrating a concept, and its strength comes from the quality of its examples. You have a couple of options for this essay. There are two options that you can write on. The first option asks you to write a 5 to 7 page illustrative essay that explains a problem or a challenge that is facing either your college, your city, your state, or your country. You can compare two parts of this challenge. You can discuss the causes or effects of this challenge, explain the challenge, or a combination of the three. If you don't want to focus on describing a problem or a challenge, you can instead write a 5 to 7 page illustrative essay that examines the topic of progress, social change, or activism. For example, you might discuss the aspects or methods of activism, thinking about Naomi Klein, Frederick Douglass, and Malcolm Gladwell. Alternatively, you might explain different ways that change comes about. Does change come about in the streets, through protest, through internet activism, at the ballot box, or some combination of these elements? So you have two choices to write on when it comes to your illustrative essay. The essay itself is going to be due on November 7th. That is your final draft. But over the next few weeks, we'll be working on pieces of this. You can read a copy of this assignment on Blackboard in the Week 8 folder. I want to just draw your attention to some of the requirements for the final assignment. The final assignment is going to ask that you use the definition example pattern somewhere in the text. That might be as an introduction, or it might be as a body paragraph. The essay should also draw on some of the rhetorical strategies that we've learned. For example, you might use narrative in the form of anecdote to help support some of your illustrative paragraphs. You might use the compare and contrast setup, repetition, parallelism. I'm not looking for you to use all of these, but I'm just reminding you of some of the strategies we've touched on over the semester so far and encouraging you to use them in your writing. The essay must have an interesting opening. This week we'll be focusing on introductions, or our first week we'll be focusing on introductions. Take a look back at Naomi Klein's definition example pattern opening and in Malcolm Gladwell's anecdote or narrative opening. The essay should have a clear thesis. Again, there'll be information on Blackboard to help guide you through this. Must be written in MLA format. Likely you will need to do some research for this paper, but I want to stress that research is not the focus of the assignment. So popular sources like newspapers, magazines, websites, they'll be enough. In our final essay, we will kind of take a deeper dig into research and using scholarly research databases to get information. So I'm going to suggest that you review the entire assignment before you begin work on the material for this week. I am available if you have any questions. I'm just an email away, and I'm always happy to set up an appointment to meet with you.